Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
And what a pleasure it is to be in for Paul W. Smith. It is certainly my honor. I always have fun when I sit in for Paul. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I am Paul. Yes, I'm back, and for at least a few days. It is a pleasure and a privilege to be with you. Why does it say weekdays focus 2 to 4 on my screen? Has something happened that I don't know about? Is there somebody?
Yeah, did you pack
Mike
a lunch?
Parsons,
Did you pack a lunch? No,
executive producer. I don't. What am I looking at here?
That is what you call
Facebook and.
That's what you call a failure of quality control there, Paul. We'll get that fixed.
Okay. Anyway, so Facebook and YouTube pages are live streaming right now, which is what I was looking at and saying, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. So it isn't. So we'll get that fixed. Right after your daily dose of Dietz, I'll talk with Kevin Dietz. And in between, coming up, JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermani and the team. Mike Parsons, Danielle Mason, Rich Luzinski, Jason Fistler in for Rich. And we're going to do our best to give you relentless positive radio. And we start off with a show. We start the show off with a story that, in fact, may sound not so positive, but I'm here to tell you it's very positive. It's a very, very big deal, and it affects our entire family, and therefore your WJR family, because as a listener, you are a part of the WJR family. That's what makes this radio station special and so different. I find it out when I travel more than ever. I hear from people that I don't get to hear from when I'm stuck in a studio. But when I'm out and about, like we were on vacation, we get to talk to people about a lot of things. Be that as it may, as part of the family, you may have already heard either this morning on the morning show or just now in All Talk with Kevin Dietz, and especially right here, about one of our family members who is suffering and going through a lot. And she had a decision to make as a pretty private person, which is not easy as a celebrity, a personality. And if you're like me, the first time you ever saw her, it was doing her work on television. And then she joined me many years ago on the morning show to help out in sports on the radio. And that's when I knew she was really talented, because television is much easier than radio. But if you can do radio, you can do television, and you can do a lot more. And Jamie Edmonds has done a lot more, now as co-host of our JR Morning Show with Chris and Lloyd and Jamie. And you may know by now, and those of you who are watching Facebook and YouTube pages, live streaming right now, and I just looked up and see Jamie for the first time in a long while because I was on vacation and I don't see her every day because of our shifts. But she has made a very special announcement, and more importantly, a decision that I'm sure was not easy, but she knows is the right decision, because she has announced her fight with cancer. And she could have been very quiet about it, very personal and private with just the family, or she could have included all of us. She has included all of us because she knows by being in the public eye and coming forward with what she's going through, she's going to help thousands and thousands of other people who are going through the same thing or will be. Jamie, I'm not surprised. I couldn't be more proud of you. And like all of us, I am very sad that you're going through this, but very proud of your strength that you were showing us.
Well, Paul, thank you for having me on the show. And I can hear it in your voice that, it's just a very scary time, but I have been through some dark moments with all of this. But I got to a point where I wanted to talk about it because I got through the dark time from hearing other people's stories. So if I can help just one person that they're not alone in this, then there's a purpose to all of this. And I hope that's what's going to happen out of all of this.
There is a purpose. This is the most important thing you've done in a fabulous 20-year plus career in broadcasting, because over and above the great job you've always done in television and radio and everything else you've done. You are indeed offering strength to people who could use it, who don't have the platform that you have. And for that, I salute you. Why don't you, for listeners who somehow missed it this morning in the 2 shows you've already been on, just bring everyone up to date where you are.
Well, 2 months ago, February 10th, I'll never forget it. I got the worst call of my life when the doctors confirmed the biopsy results that it is in fact breast cancer. And that's like something I never even fathomed because I don't have a history of breast cancer in my family. Very little cancer in my family overall. So I felt invincible, I guess. And I just thought this was going to be like a cyst and they were just doing their due diligence. But no, it's breast cancer at 42 years old, 6 months after I had a clean mammogram. And so it was very shocking. And, your thoughts race. Like, I have a young daughter. Am I going to be here to watch her grow up? Like, that's obviously what went through my mind initially. And it's like very hard, but there's this army of breast cancer survivors who like find out about you. I had strangers calling and texting me and telling me, their stories of hope. And that's how I got to this point where I feel comfortable talking about it. I'm not even done. I've only done 6 chemotherapy treatments, but I feel like talking about it will help.
It does help. I mean, it helps others. I do hope that it is helping you as well. And I think that's pretty much what you just said, that you feel like or even need to talk about it. And I know you could have gone in the other direction, and no one would blame you for that. Just because you're a high-profile person, public person, you could still have your private moments, and you do and should. But you knew, and now you just explained, in the same way that people reaching out to you, one phone call at a time, one note, text, email, letter at a time helped you.
Yeah.
So what an excellent opportunity for you with this really big platform to help many, many more people. And I'm here to announce that though we may miss you from time to time on the morning show during your treatments, you are welcome on all of our shows to come on at any time to talk about anything. And I understand that there's even a possible podcast in the works.
Yeah, I've been talking with the bosses at WJR there who've been unbelievable, who've just supported me in just any way they can. And I want to talk about my story through the times that I'm going through chemo, through the times that I'm trying to parent a 3-year-old whilst going through this. I want to talk about it. And the idea is a podcast. We haven't like fully formed it yet, but maybe that's how I get my story out there.
Well, you've got to do it in a way that you really call the shots based on how you feel.
Right.
And nobody knows in this treatment how you're going to feel until you feel it. And you don't want to be sitting around going, oh, I can't make it in for the show now.
Right.
You can't do that. And with a podcast, you won't have to do that, as I understand it. So
yeah, I can do it from home when I feel well enough to do it. I think there are a lot of people in Detroit who would talk about the resources that are out there, people who've been through it, and we can create a little community of people fighting and who have fought. And I think it could be powerful.
I am absolutely certain it already is powerful. Just from your now 3 conversations today on WJR and the future conversations that we will have, I look forward to having, and also from hearing from you, if it's a podcast or however you do it, to reach out. Is there anything else you want to say or make clear to our listeners, to your family, our family on WJR? Because I'm not stretching this out long because it's been a long day already for you, I know. So is there anything else, Jamie Edmonds?
Well, I held it together on the morning show until Chris started reading comments from people. And so since 9 o'clock until now, 12 o'clock, the amount of messages that have come out have been really heartwarming and really just warmed my heart. And I really appreciate everyone praying for me. I think prayer matters, and I appreciate it. And I think I'm going to find the other side.
I am certain you're going to find the other side. I am certain that this is going to lead to more prayers. And I am certain that prayers can work and have worked. We've all seen them work. And
thank you, Paul.
You're talking to the wrong guy about holding it together. You don't have to always hold it together. We already know you're strong. And we're going to be strong with you along this road. Just know, as you do now, and probably have for a while, you are not on this road alone. We love you, and we're with you. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Paul. As the leader of the bunch here at WJR, the legend that you are, thanks for talking about my story today. And I appreciate you. You're right. I came on WJR the first time on your show.
And I'm going to say something that I hope doesn't embarrass you, because I find it very heartwarming and cute. You said to me, it's hard to find someone to date when I'm doing what I'm doing. Do you remember that conversation?
Of course I do.
It's hard to find someone to date. And the next thing I know, you're married and have a beautiful little baby.
Well, it happened. You weren't the matchmaker, though.
No. I stand back. I'm not that crazy. No, I stood back. I went, really? I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure it'll all work out, Jamie. And in fact, it did all work out. And you're living a great love story.
My biggest supporter is downstairs at his home office. So it starts with that. And I just really appreciate everyone and their support so far this morning.
Well, it may start this morning, but it's going to go on forever. So God bless you. And don't ever hesitate to reach out to us any way that you need to or want to. And we're here for you.
Thank you, Paul.
Jamie Edmonds, you know her and love her from the morning show. She started with me in the morning show many years ago doing sports. Now she's the co-host with Chris and Lloyd of a great JR Mornings. And she has revealed her fight with breast cancer. And she has an army supporting her. And I'm glad that you're joining that army. We continue in Focus on WJR.
Welcome to Making the Impossible Possible with Henry Ford Health. And with us today is cardiologist Dr. Rory Russell. From the routine to leading-edge breakthroughs at Henry Ford, healthcare is more than high-tech. It's human. And Dr. Russell, how does this impact your work?
That's so true. As a physician, what we do is intrinsically personal. It's incredibly important to me to maintain that human connection with my patients. My goal is to help my patients feel better and continue living longer, happier lives with their loved ones. That truly makes me happy.
Well, that's wonderful. And Henry Ford is a nonprofit. How does this impact the care you give as a physician?
Because Henry Ford Health is a nonprofit, our donors and their gifts power the advancements that help us improve and save more lives every day. Philanthropy is the difference maker that enables the next level of exceptional patient-centered care, leading-edge research, clinical training excellence, and broad community impact.
Great. Cardiovascular care is part of your Detroit expansion plans. Can you share more?
Cardiovascular care will be one of the specialties in the new hospital facility currently being built at our Detroit campus. Thanks to donor support, we can continue to engage in the most advanced research while investing in the best equipment and technology available, all to improve our patients' lives.
To learn more or make a gift, visit henryford.com/above and beyond.
Well, we have a busy day for our first day back. There's a lot going on, whether it's 21 hours nonstop talking and no luck in Iran, or rescuing our pilot behind enemy lines, the president and the Pope, or one big, bright, shining moment, Michigan as the national champions in basketball. We had a lot to talk about today, and we shall, and we're glad we're here together. And thanks to all the folks who sat in for me. You know, with this weather warming up, it is time to start thinking about home improvement projects. And the most important yet overlooked spring home improvement project is getting your roof inspected to make sure it is still keeping the water outside of your home. Now, this is very important in spring because that freeze-thaw cycle of the winter can cause the shingles on your roof to become brittle and to develop tiny micro cracks in them. I want you to do this. I want you to call Victor's Home Solutions today before the spring rush hits and schedule a free 21-point roof inspection. They're going to go over every square inch of your roof, make sure there is nowhere water can get in. This also allows you to catch minor problems early and fix them with an inexpensive repair. Repairing water damage from a leaky roof is far more expensive than keeping your roof maintained and making minor repairs along the way. If it's time for a new roof, Victor's has you covered. You know, they did 2 new roofs for me, and I couldn't be happier. Of course, they've got prompt follow-up, on-time appointments, clear communication, perfect installation the first time. And they also offer an industry-leading 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. So call today before the spring rains get into your home. Call 1-866-VICTORS, 866-VICTORS, or online at simply victors.com. That's 866-VICTORS, or online at victors.com. You will be so glad you did. We continue on WJR.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement savings to stock market risk? There are strategies you can use to keep your money safe no matter what happens in the stock market. Join us for Money Talks with Joseph Uplager, Saturdays at 5 p.m. right here on WJR 760.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by the Distillery Complex in Pittsburgh. The Distillery Complex in Pittsburgh is your go-to spot all week for draft action. From rooftop cocktails at the Finch to live shows in the drawing room, there's something happening on every floor. Plan your night at thedistillerycomplex.com.
At 2 o'clock on JR.
WJR Traffic First is also sponsored by Paramount Roofing. A new roof doesn't have to wait. With Paramount Roofing, pay no money down and enjoy 5 years at 0% interest. Get your free roof quote today at weareroofing.com. Built to last, backed for life for homes and businesses alike. Paramount Roofing, that's roofing made easy. We have one problem on the area roadways here on your Monday afternoon commute. We have a crash off to the right shoulder, 94 eastbound at the Lodge, as well as construction has your roadway reduced to 2 lanes, 75 northbound between Outer Creek and Front Street. Roadwork has the left lane closed on the Lodge southbound between Glendale Street and Webb Street, and you'll find 14 Mile Road. That's closed in both directions. Between Novi Road and M5, that's due to construction scheduled till the end of the month. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. A mix of sun and clouds for the rest of the day today with a high of 77 degrees. Overcast overnight, low of 62. Chance of a rain shower for the day on Tuesday and a high of 78. I'm Jason Fissler for WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, high-level talks in Islamabad. J.D. Vance and the contingent from Iran. What came out of those meetings? We'll have it for you at 2 o'clock, 760 WJR.
Well, as we continue in focus and relentless positive radio on this Monday, April 13th, we welcome Peter Trombor, the chair of political science at Oakland University and international relations expert. As President Trump has announced the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz after the peace talks fail, I got to ask what his best guess is, and that's all it can be right now, I think, unless there's been an announcement I've missed while traveling, that what happens after the 2-week ceasefire, and now what with the president and the Pope. This may be a little, this may be asking too much of you, Peter. You're only human.
That's a lot you're putting on my plate here for a Monday afternoon.
I realized it as I said it. I went, "Oh, Peter, I am sorry. I don't mean to be dumping all over you, but there's a lot going on here."
There is. So let me take a stab at a couple of them. I think what happens 10 days from now when the ceasefire is over, I think is anybody's guess. My sense of it is the President Trump is trying to find a way out, and I think this announcement of a blockade all of a sudden after the failure of talks is like just the latest thing that he's trying in order to sort of get himself out of the mix, out of this mess that he created. Right? Frankly, this is a mess of our own creation. So. My hope is that, when the ceasefire officially ends, we don't go right back to bombing. My hunch is that the president will try to find a way to declare victory and just walk off. And so I think that's the best case scenario from where I sit. I don't know what this blockade is intended to accomplish, except to try to put even more economic pressure on Iran. But I think all Iran has to do is hold on and survive, and that's victory. And I'm not convinced that closing the Strait of Hormuz when it's already closed is really going to create much more of incentive for the Iranians to come back to some kind of compromise with us. So
one of the things that kept coming to my mind, Peter, while watching this, and I tried to avoid it all while I was on vacation, but it's impossible. But we former presidents, I don't know if Trump did the same thing. I don't think so back when his first term, but we gave billions of dollars to the Iranians. And I just want to point out, $1 billion in Iran goes a very long way. And we're seeing that with the ability of them to send countless drones and other shoulder armed missiles, heat-seeking, that take down multi-million, billion-dollar jets, when the president keeps going on and on about saying they don't have anything left. He's talked himself into his own problems right now, sadly.
I think that is part of the story. The Iranians have shown themselves to be very, very resilient, and this expectation that apparently the president had that the regime would just crumble overnight after the initial attacks on February 28th, that just hasn't come to pass. And you sort of begin to run out of military targets to keep bombing, which I think is why the president then threatened to attack civilian targets. I honestly think he doesn't know what to do next, and that this blockade is just the most recent gambit, sort of seeing if he can get anything to work. I think the Iranians just have to hold on, and they seem right now to be very capable of doing that. And you're right, they still retain the ability to inflict punishment on the United States, certainly on the global economy, and inflict punishment on their Gulf neighbors. So I don't see that changing anytime soon.
I fear part of the problem for our president, who has been a great negotiator by people who've been even closer to him and have said, what a great negotiator. I think he's negotiating in a situation he's not used to. He's negotiating with people where they're not money motivated.
Yeah.
And I think that's very difficult for a businessman who's used to negotiating and holding a carrot of money over people's heads, when the people don't care because they're nuts and they've got these philosophies and religions and all this other stuff that is far more important to them than any amount of money he could offer or withhold.
I think it was particularly telling when we look at the composition of the American negotiating team that was in Islamabad on Saturday. It was led by the vice president, who has no diplomatic training, has no background in negotiation, has never engaged in any kind of high stakes environment like this ever. And then the other two top negotiators were the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and his golf and real estate buddy, Stephen Witkoff, who are money guys, and frankly, Witkoff and Kushner were the same two who were sitting at the negotiating table with the Iranians as we were bombing them on February 28th. So it's not hard for me to imagine that the Iranians just calculate that we were not negotiating in good faith. And so why should they make any kind of deal with us on Saturday?
Well, I couldn't agree with you more on all of this, Peter Trumbore. I also think it's an especially good time to be the chair of political science at Oakland University, and an international relations expert being called upon by us and everybody else who wants your professional opinion. We thank you for sharing it. I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you, sir. Peter Trumbore, chair of political science at Oakland University, international relations expert, the go-to guy for an opinion on these sorts of things. You may agree, you may disagree, but it's a learned opinion. Speaking of that, we've got some more learned opinions coming your way here in Focus with Paul W. Smith on WJR, right around the corner. Well, you know, the sounds, the smells, the warmth of spring have arrived. And though they come and go, and there could be another snowstorm, but I doubt it, Michigan is Michigan. The threat of those nasty spring storms are upon us, too, and many have gotten caught off guard with power outages that storms can leave behind. Now, I do have a suggestion from my friends at Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. And by the way, that's not just their name. That is the way they do business, and they are here to help as a family still. Next generation, Dan Pelko, Crystal Klempert Pelko. And there's no company I trust more because I know the family. I've known them for 50 years. I know the company. I know none of their people work on commission. This year, be ready for Mother Nature with a reliable standby generator. Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical offers generator installations, maintenance, and repairs. Now, you should know that if your generator is not serviced by a certified technician, it will void the manufacturer's warranty. And if you don't receive maintenance after 200 hours of runtime, that can also void your warranty. Never fear. The technicians at Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical are Generac certified to keep your generator working. You don't have one? Get one. You have one? Call them to service it. With locations in Garden City, Madison Heights, and White Lake, they have been serving proudly Southeast Michigan for over 55 years. Visit familyheating.com to schedule your free estimate today. That's familyheating.com to schedule your free estimate today. There'll be phone numbers there for the location closest to you and other information. And see what Dan Pelko and Crystal Klempert Pelko have in mind for you and your family. Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. We continue in focus on WJR.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
We started Henyon and Walsh for people like you. People with integrity, honesty, and loyalty. The result? We care about you and your investment success. We're dedicated to your financial goals, so we'll always give you our best efforts, because you've earned it. We're Henyon and Walsh, and committed to you. Get a second opinion. Call 800-279-5279 or find us online. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
Hey, Jim Harper here. Quick story. I needed new glasses. And like many of you, I thought, well, I can go online. That's easy. But then I remembered the last time I did that, it wasn't easy. They didn't look good on me, and they weren't cheap. So then what? You can't take them back to the store. It's the web. Then I remembered Direct Optical Optique. Many of you got your glasses there. You looked great and had a wonderful experience. And that's what I remembered, the experience. I remembered Mariana, Frame Stylist of the Year, and how great she and her staff were at helping me find the right frame at a good price. And that's all we want, right? And they have two great locations, Haggerty Road north of Maple in West Bloomfield, and in Canton on Ford Road next to the IKEA. Go see Mariana at Direct Optical Optique. She still knows everybody by name. 3 generations of loyal customers for a reason, because you get the attention you deserve. Direct Optical Optique in West Bloomfield and in Canton, and at OptiqueDetroit.com.
I love the Weingarts family because they are so giving. Yes, they run great businesses that can help us tremendously, and that's important, especially for what I'm about to tell you. However, I'm here to tell you what great members of the community they are, how philanthropical the Weingarts family is. They've been helping families like yours choose the right power equipment for your lawn since 1945, but they've helped out so many people in so many other ways. But let's get back to business, because we're going right up their alley for their season, and yours and mine, because their experts are going to help you choose the right product from top brands like John Deere. The John Deere 100 series lawn tractors are affordable, comfortable, and easy to use. Designed to make yard work simple. These tractors offer features like the edge cutting system that delivers an even cut, and 2-pedal foot control to make operation a breeze. And they're all built to the exacting standards that have made John Deere legendary. And their expert service technicians and world-class parts inventory will keep your equipment running like new. The Weingarts family has always known that service goes beyond the sale. And you can visit Weingarts in Utica or Farmington Hills to see these terrific John Deere products, or see all of their specials at Weingarts.com. Weingartz, Weingarts.com. See all those great specials. And from their family to yours, thank you for letting Weingarts serve you. We continue in Focus on WJR.
All Talk, 9 a.m. to noon with Kevin Dietz.
Matt Friedman, the commentators who helped build the MAGA political movement, Tucker Carlson or Alex Jones, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Joe Rogan, are becoming more critical. Are you seeing that?
What they do is different from what you and your colleagues do on WJR, because you're in the community. If Kevin Dietz says something on the radio, he's got to show up at the grocery store tomorrow. These national and international political commentary personalities don't have to do that.
To listen to the complete podcast and stream 760 WJR, go to WJR.com. Thanks for listening to WJR and Focus. Here's Paul W. Smith.
Our next guest is an executive coach, leadership consultant with more than 25 years of experience in leadership roles in some of the world's most iconic and successful global organizations: Meta, Levi Strauss & Company, Nike, Gap Incorporated. You get an idea of just how involved in how many businesses he is. As executive coach and leadership consultant, I'm happy to say he is a fellow Monroeite, a Monroe native. There are a few of us here at the radio station now. He is a fellow Monroe Catholic Central graduate, now St. Mary's Catholic Central. And he's here to talk about his book, Lessons from the Wall: 15 Things I Learned About Leadership and Life by Doing Really Hard Things. Matthew, welcome to Focus.
Thanks so much, Paul. It's a real honor to be here. I grew up, as you know, in southeastern Michigan, listening to WJR every single morning at the kitchen table. So this feels like a real full circle moment for me.
Well, it's great to have you here. It's great to have you as a Monroe Catholic Central graduate, just a guy from Monroe in general, and to kind of talk a little bit about your life and some of the incredible things you had to do, something that was the equivalence of climbing up Mount Everest. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Paul. So in 2024, I signed up to do the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, which is I took on what's called the 29029 Everesting Challenge. This is an ultra endurance hiking event in which you attempt to hike the vertical equivalent of Mount Everest, so 29,029 feet, but you do it as a ski run in the summer. You hike 2,000 feet up the mountain, you take the gondola down, and you head right back on up, and you repeat that 15 times.
Yikes.
And you've got 36 hours to get it done.
In this respect, you and I could not be more different. And therefore, I'm here to all ears to learn, because I've often said, I have no urge whatsoever to climb a mountain. I look at the mountain, I go, wow, that's really beautiful. But I don't say, man, I wish I could go to the summit there. I wish, whatever they call, do they say summiting the mountain? I don't know what they say.
We did this.
Whatever they say. Yeah. I don't get that at all. Tell me how this makes you a better, stronger person.
Yeah, great question. So, what's unique about this event, the 29029 Everesting Challenge, is you aren't actually climbing Everest. You're not dealing with the death zone, right? This is not mountaineering. This is ultra endurance hiking. And so early in my adult life, I ran some marathons, I did some triathlons, and then my wife and I had kids, and my life started to shift to focus on their sports. I was a rec soccer coach. I supported their swim teams. But as we were getting towards having an empty nest, I wanted to kind of get back to doing something really hard myself. And this event just sort of spoke to me. I can't run anymore. My knees are a bit shot as I get a little older, but hiking really slowly up a mountain over and over again, for some reason, crazy reason, really spoke to me. And I really wanted to lean into doing something hard and pay attention to what it taught me about myself.
And I see in looking at this, and I don't have the book yet. I'll get the book.
You have a copy waiting for you here. I brought you a
excellent.
copy and I signed
Thank
it.
you. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate you signing it. In Lessons from the Wall, 15 Things I Learned About Leadership and Life by Doing Something Really Hard. You really take what you've gone through and kind of boil it down into practical lessons on leadership, resilience, mindset, grit, goal setting, and personal growth. These are the kinds of things that all of us, even those of us like me who don't climb mountains or even try to pretend like I'm, I don't do the stairs going up and down the Empire State Building or any. I had every chance when I lived in New York. There were always kinds of competitions, not to mention the runs and all of that. But all of us can benefit from this kind of this expertise and this life experience that many of us will not have.
Yeah, that was my real hope with this, Paul. I mean, as you saw from my bio, I'm an executive coach. So I've spent my whole career studying leadership and coaching leaders. And what I did not want to do is to write another book that tells other people, here's the 5 things you need to go do to be a better leader or fix your life. I wanted to do something hard and share some lessons that I learned through this process in the hopes that, maybe there's a lesson in here that someone could apply to their own life. And it doesn't have to be about sports. It could be, if you want to learn to play guitar or learn how to quilt or just do something, beyond what you thought you were capable of doing. And that is kind of the whole point of the book, was that I really wanted to share my experience and what is it like to do something beyond what I thought I was capable of, and see what, kind of who was in here when things got difficult.
It's very simple to follow. You are an experienced TEDx speaker, which puts you at a certain level in my mind already. But for example, in the 15 lessons, one of them, lesson 1, there's no medal for mayonnaise on your keyboard.
Yeah.
I love that. Number 2, trust your instincts. They're stronger than you think. Declare audacious goals, then set firm intentions. There is power in purpose. Be a doer, not just a consumer. The list goes on. And I hope that my listeners can see how this book, Lessons from the Wall, 15 Things I Learned About Leadership and Life by Doing Something Really Hard, will do what I'm going to do, which is read this book.
Excellent.
Because I think it's well worth reading, and I do think all of us can take something away from this. And I couldn't be more proud to say you're from Monroe, Michigan, my hometown, that you graduated from my high school many years after I left, probably even after they changed the name.
Yeah.
From Monroe Catholic Central High School to St. Mary's Catholic Central. And that you're doing well with this book, Lessons from the Wall, 15 Things I Learned About Leadership and Life by Doing Really Hard Things. I'm assuming it's available on everywhere.
It is available right now. It is available online. You can visit my website, lessonsfromthewall.com. But you can also find it barnesandnoble.com, and it will soon be on Amazon. And then we're looking at it doing an ebook and an audio book as well. But the best way to find it is to go directly to lessonsfromthewall.com, and there are links to be able to buy that directly.
Lessonsfromthewall.com. And when you do the audiobook, if you're looking for somebody to hire to do the reading, I know a guy.
Now I do too.
From Monroe. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Matthew. Nice talking with you. Nice meeting you.
Thanks so much, Paul W. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
It's our pleasure. Matthew Spence, executive coach, leadership consultant, Monroe native, Monroe Catholic Central graduate, all-around good guy, obviously. and his book now out called Lessons from the Wall, 15 Things I Learned About Leadership and Life by Doing Really Hard Things. Go to lessonsfromthewall.com and you'll know you'll get it right away. We continue in focus on WJR at 1244. I have missed my friend, Dr. Saul Kogan. He's busy working on helping his son make it to the Olympics. That's another story we've talked about, touched on. And we were traveling, Kim and I, on a vacation with just the two of us, which is unusual, but promised by me often, not always lived up to, but this time we did. So I miss my good friend, Dr. Saul Kogan, and I'm glad to see that he's got a special opportunity for you to spring into a pain-free life at the Nerve and Disc Institute and Dr. Kogan's non-surgical, non-invasive treatments for severe and chronic back, neck, and knee pain. I'm kind of out there telling people, even when I'm on vacation, when I see somebody's having an issue and talks about getting surgery, I go, wait a minute. Before you do that, you should try everything. And this is one of the things you should try. And I've heard from so many people say they wish they tried this first. I'm talking about Dr. Saul Kogan, the Nerve and Disc Institute, and his intradisc neutrosis, which helps people with spinal stenosis, bulging and herniated discs, sciatica pain, and degenerative disc disease avoid spine surgery. And now, of course, the Knee Restore RX that helps those with osteoarthritis, meniscus tears, and muscle strains avoid knee replacement without shots, pills, or downtime. In fact, here are the real words from a real patient. Quote, "In 3 weeks, that pain in my lower back has gone away. Yes, gone. I have no intention of returning to those painkiller days. And the staff is so attentive and absolutely professional. If I had to start my back journey all over again today, I would try this first, and so should you." End of quote. His team is spectacular. He is spectacular. The treatment is spectacular. And if you mention WJR in April, you'll get a spectacular opportunity. If you mention WJR, you'll get a consultation, exam, X-ray, or MRI review, and laser treatment for only $49 for your first visit. $49 for your first visit. The Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and now Bad Axe. Mention WJR. Take advantage of this incredible $49 opportunity. Call 586-416-DISC. Do it now while you're thinking. 586-416-3472. 586-416-3472. Dr. Saul Kogan and the Nerve and Disc Institute. We continue in focus on WJR.
You know what Michigan homeowners are thinking right now? Is my house ready for spray? Exactly. Check siding for winter damage and look for peeling paint or cracks.
And make sure grading slopes away from your home. Spring rains plus poor drainage equals wet basements.
For the area's most trusted contractors to help you with your next home project, visit guys at the InsideOutsideGuys.com. That's InsideOutsideGuys.com.
Sponsored by TruTech Concrete Coatings.
Mark and Cheryl here from TruTech Concrete Coatings.
With TruTech, we can make any concrete floor beautiful in as little as 1 day.
Formulated for Michigan's harsh weather, TruTech Concrete Coatings is 4 times stronger than epoxy, plus it's anti-skid.
It's perfect for garage floors, basements, patios, and commercial areas.
We're so confident in the quality and performance of our coatings that we back it with a lifetime warranty.
Call now for a free estimate and get $500 off your job.
Visit TruTechConcreteCoatings.com or call 810-487-8832.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Probate is bad. It's slow, it's expensive, and it's completely public. But the good news is you can avoid probate entirely with a revocable living trust. A revocable living trust keeps you in control of the who, the what, and the when. Who receives your assets, what assets they receive, and when they receive them. And when your assets are properly owned by or payable to the trust, you bypass probate and protect your family from the delays and costs that come with it. At Estate Planning Legal Services, their attorneys walk you through every step. They'll help retitle your assets at no charge. And if you need any changes in the future, they're free for life. With more than 25 years serving Metro Detroit families, they know how to make the process clear, affordable, and stress-free. Get the peace of mind you deserve. Contact Estate Planning Legal Services today for your free consultation and learn how a revocable living trust can work for you. 248-435-0400 or go to EPLSPC.com, 248-435-0400.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Fresh Time Market. Your self-care routine is about to glow up. Enjoy 30% off all vitamins and body care at Fresh Time Market from April 8th through the 14th. Take care of yourself and your wallet at one of the biggest sales of the year. Fresh Time Market, rooted in your well-being.
WJR Traffic First is also sponsored by My Fair Lady at thumbcoasttheaters.com. Experience live theater at Thumb Coast Theaters in St. Clair. Don't miss the beloved musical My Fair Lady, where an elitist professor bets he can transform a spirited girl from London's lower class into a refined lady in 6 months. Get your tickets at thumbcoasttheaters.com. I-94 westbound at the Lodge. That accident has cleared. We do have construction that has your left lane closed on the Lodge southbound between Glendale and Webb Street. I-75 northbound, that off-ramp to westbound I-696, that remains closed due to repairs. And 14 Mile Road, that's closed in both directions due to road work between Novi Road and M5. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. A mix of sun and clouds for the rest of the day today with a high of 77 degrees. Overcast overnight with a low of 62. Cloudy with a chance of thunderstorms for the day on Tuesday, high of 78. I'm Jason Fissler for WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
I just heard earlier these promos, I really mean this when I say, aren't we lucky to have the inside-outside guys, Chuck Bridenstine, Ken Calverley? I mean, we are lucky to have them for you live and free on WJR. I mean, they are a public service. I don't know about you, but they've helped me a lot with our home, just hearing what they have to say, listening in. Chuck and Ken, the inside-outside guys. Oh, and it was great to hear, too, from Mark and Cheryl. And now with their other company, TrueTech.ConcreteCoatings.com. Nice to hear them on the air. Yeah, we are just very fortunate. We are fortunate to feature important people who we partner with, who advertise with us and bring you such great opportunities for help in so many ways. I'm just thrilled. I am honored. Speaking of people here to help, Nicky Lundberg is our WJR digital sports reporter, proud graduate of Michigan State University. And we have a lot to talk about, Nickster.
Oh, yeah. It was a weekend full of sports this weekend. The Masters, basketball. We got to cover it all, Paul.
I got to say this, because I'm not rubbing this in because you're a Michigan State grad, because I root for Michigan State. I love Tom Izzo, you know the whole deal. But I've been gone, so we haven't had a chance to talk about Michigan and their national championship.
I knew this was going to come up.
Well, how could it not? I mean, it's a big deal. It's good for the state of Michigan. Michigan State's been there, and now Michigan's back after many, many, many years. And I'm thrilled, obviously, having graduated from that school feeling lucky. So that was a big deal. I was watching that game out to sea. And luckily they were able to channel it in. And boy, when they played Arizona, it looked like they were untouchable. But when they got to UConn, I got very nervous throughout that whole game. But anyway, so there's that. Rory McIlroy winning back-to-back Masters. That was very exciting. I didn't like seeing in my stack of stuff I had to look at when I got back, booing at the Red Wings games.
Yeah, that was, the last 3 years, March and the Red Wings have been synonymous with losing, unfortunately. And this year was no different. Obviously, heading into April, they were in a good spot a couple months ago, but Dylan Larkin got injured, and then they went on this long losing streak, and the road finally came to an end this weekend, unfortunately. And they're going to need to take a long look at themselves in the mirror, because now they're, I believe, the longest playoff drought in the NHL. And for Hockeytown, for Detroit fans, this is just not acceptable.
They never should have left WJR.
Agreed.
We had, 4 Stanley Cup? We had at least 3 Stanley Cups while we had the Red Wings on the air. We used to go in the morning show and broadcast from the Stanley Cup playoff games. But be that as it may, they'll make their own decisions. Quick take on our Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, number 1 seed heading into the playoffs next weekend. Their first game is on Sunday at 6:30. We'll find out who they played this week, with the play-in games going on in the tournament. But they look like a powerhouse right now. They were without their best player, MVP candidate Cade Cunningham, who was out with the collapsed lung. He didn't play for the last 2 or so months, and they were still winning games without him. And a lot of people talk about the lack of, star power on the rest of the team, but they managed just fine at the end of the stretch without him. And they got him back for the last week, got to ramp him up a little bit. So everybody should be rocking and rolling for next Sunday at Little Caesars Arena.
Is that next Sunday, number 1 seed Pistons, 60-22, playing game 1, April 19th, the second day of the playoffs.
Yep, and like I said, we'll find out exactly who they play, but they've been rolling to end the season. And, the rest of the NBA playoffs are going to be interesting because, the Pistons are, every time you get a 1 versus 8 seed, it's kind of expected that they go on to the next round, which assumably, if everything plays out the way the numbers have played out in the regular season, that matchup will be against the Cleveland Cavaliers, which will definitely be some very, very interesting playoff basketball.
I'm hoping the Pistons can deliver on April 19th a birthday present to my daughter, Sophie, who I met you through Sophie. And April and Dominic Lucido. April 19th is her birthday. My birthday is the day before. She was born. My birthday, April 18th. She was born the day after I turned 50. And this April 19th, she will be 23. And of course, I'll still be 50.
We're getting up there, Paul, too. 23. Happy birthday, Sophie.
You see how I slipped that right in there, that I'd still be 50, and he went along with it? That's why I love this kid. This is why I love Nick Lundberg, and he has such a bright future at this radio station, and we're all lucky for that. Thank you, Nikki. We continue hour number 2 in Focus. Coming up, lots to talk about on WJR.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Reach label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Michigan's public education system is entering an important new chapter. Listen tonight at 7 p.m. for Our State of Education, sponsored by the Skillman Foundation. Michigan's new state superintendent of public instruction, Dr. Glenn Maleko, shares his vision for Michigan's education system, the priorities guiding this moment, and what it will take to help every student thrive. Our State of Education is tonight at 7 p.m. or stream online via thegreatvoice.com or at WJR.com.
Are you concerned about outliving your money? If so, tune in to Money Talks with Joseph Uplager, Saturdays at 5 p.m. Joe will help make sure you get the retirement you deserve, Saturdays at 5 p.m. right here on WJR 760.
Awareness is a start, but acceptance creates change. This April, join fellow Michiganders for Autism Acceptance Month. Help build a world where everyone truly belongs. Take the next step at autism-mi.org. Accept, include, support.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
President Trump doubles down on Iran. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Right now we have a blockade. They're doing no business.
He says that blockade is aimed at oil going into or out of Iranian ports.
We can't give a nuclear weapon to a group of people that have caused nothing but havoc for 47 years. Look, I'm the president that's done something about it.
He also suggests a deal with Iran is still possible, telling reporters the right people are calling after no deal was reached in talks over the weekend in Pakistan. The president has said the U.S. will work with allies to block certain traffic in the Strait of Hormuz.
The UK says it is not supporting that operation. French President Emmanuel Macron says, quote, in the coming days, together with the United Kingdom, we will organize a conference with those countries prepared to contribute alongside us to a peaceful multinational mission aimed at restoring freedom of navigation in the Strait. Macron called it a strictly defensive mission.
Fox's Rich Edson at the White House. Iran has threatened to attack other ports in the region, with state media warning that security in the Persian Gulf and the Sea of Oman is either for everyone or for no one. Now, just before taking questions moments ago, the president accepted what appeared to be a McDonald's delivery order to the White House, chatting with the DoorDash driver about tax breaks, including no tax on tips.
And that's overtime. That's also on Social Security, as you know.
Yes.
And it's pretty amazing.
Yes, it is.
Well, you're really nice.
The driver thanking him and saying the tax breaks have helped immensely. The president also just saying there's nothing to apologize for after public criticism of the Pope, who says he'll continue to speak out against war. Just getting word, the Trump administration now agrees to keep flying a rainbow pride flag at the Stonewall National Monument in New York, reversing course after removing the banner in February. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey there, JR listeners. Chris Alberta from Principium. Look, I have an urgent message for you today about your retirement. I don't care if you already retired, you're a few months away, or you're a few years away. You're going to be unemployed soon. And you probably don't have a pension because you are your pension. Recent all-time highs in the market. Look, you're at the top of the mountain. And now we're in an Iranian conflict. AI might replace your job. And like it or not, you could be retired as long as you were working. But despite all that, it's the best time I have ever seen in my career to build you a retirement plan. The fixed rates are unbelievably good. Income models are killing it. You combine that with top-notch market management and you're going to win. If you wait, you will lose. These rates will go down. You remember the 4% rule? My clients are using the 7% rule. They'll always have a paycheck, and that's freedom. Don't wait. Call me now, 888-800-8949. Call me, Chris Alberta, 888-800-8949.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Focus with Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Well, here we go. We are back and happy to be back and on the air. Paul W. Smith in for Paul W. Smith, which I'm thrilled to be here. And I did not plan this particularly well, and I've already fixed it for next year because I'm only here for 4 days, and I'm going to go celebrate Sophie's birthday with her, but I'll be back next week. But anyway, we had a cruise, Kim and I, just the two of us. We look forward to the next cruise with the station, the WJR Travel Club. I believe we only have 2 days left. If you want to join us on the Italy, France, Monaco, and Spain trip, I would suggest going to the WJR Travel Club website. I think that's still up and still has Paul W. and Kim's Dream Vacation, but we only have 2 more days of being able to hold rooms. Italy, France, Monaco, and Spain, I would call Cruise and Tour at 800-383-3131. That's what I think Doug Johnson told us till the 14th of April. I don't know if you remember, Mike. But anyway, 1-800-383-3131. And we had a wonderful cruise, and we think cruising is the best way to go for vacations. Meanwhile, next year I've already fixed this so that when we take our trip together for just Kim and me, we will end up in New York and be able to visit with Sophie around her birthday. So as it works out this year, we're actually there for her birthday, but that's a long story. Anyway, it was a great trip, but it's always, and I know you know this about me, and maybe it's true about you, it's just great to be back home, and it's great to be back on the air, because I love being with everybody this way on the air.
Yeah, and all of our fill-in hosts were great. They did a great job. We had a good time, but it's good to get back to normal.
Yeah, I thank all of them for helping out along the way. We're here with our Relentless Positive Radio with the team, Mike Parsons, as you hear, Danielle Mason, the queen of the switches, Rich Luzinski off a little bit with Jason Fistler doing a fine job. He steps in. Nobody misses a beat, does a very, very nice job. You can stream us. You can podcast us. If you missed the show, come back at WJR.com, or always make sure you have the free WJR app. And, of course, Facebook and YouTube pages are live streaming right now. And I'm working on, with help from Sophie, speaking of Sophie, on my Paul W. Sminsta. We're kind of tweaking my Insta. See, I got a little smirk on your face there when I said that, because you young people, he said, get off my lawn. You young people apparently know that I'm not posting on Paul W. Sminsta the stuff I'm supposed to post. I don't know. I didn't know.
No, I think all your posts are fine. I just like the way that you spell it out, because that's how it is. Paul W. Sminsta. And also, Paul, I got to get you to learn how to do Facebook, because your Facebook posts, as the kids say, blow up when you post.
Yeah, but I don't even know how to post. If I post on Facebook, it's by accident or it's through the Paul W. Sminsta.
Right. So whoever set up your Paul W. Sminsta also set it up so that you can post on your Facebook at the same time. So
I didn't even know that. I had no idea. All right. So, Facebook, unfortunately, my experience with Facebook, when I've seen it, there are a lot of trolls.
Yeah.
I've learned that's what they're called. There's a lot of people filled with hate. And I feel sorry for them, but I have no interest in them.
And you're right; they are much nicer on Instagram than on Facebook for some reason. I don't know why.
It seems to be that way for me. My way of thinking, believe me, I'm not an expert in any way, shape, or form with any of this stuff. But when I see the hate on Facebook, and I just say, why? How miserable someone's life must be if they spend time in that social media platform criticizing, putting people down, saying terrible things that indicates to me they have a miserable life. And I want to respond. And Kim says, don't you dare respond.
Right. I used to respond and get into back and forths on Facebook. And then you know what happens, Paul? Then you waste your whole day dealing with these folks, where if you just ignore them, you just go on and you enjoy your life.
I'm ignoring them, and I don't read them on purpose. It's just sometimes they pop up. What was that?
Sometimes Ryan Romani responds because he knows when he's right and they are wrong. So he'll just give him a little bit.
It doesn't matter. To those people who are complaining or saying that they're right and he's wrong, you're not going to convince them. By the way, what is this? Where's Waldo? Where is Danielle? Did something happen while I was on vacation? Did we not pay the rent on that third box where Danielle usually is?
We unplugged the camera.
Well, why would you do that?
Here,
Why
let's
not?
see.
What do you mean, why not? I promote the fact that we're on Facebook and YouTube pages live streaming right now.
I can plug it back in.
That's the best I can do.
Oh, come on. Come on, Danielle. Now's not the time to be shy.
There we go.
Oh, my God. There she is. All right. Well, there she is. She's fine. All right. So let's see. The things that we missed. 21 hours with Iran. Rescuing our pilot behind enemy lines. People have no idea how important that is. They have no idea how important that is. Not just because we say we don't leave anyone behind, but because the war would have changed tremendously had they had one of our soldiers captive. They would be calling the shots right now. They would be threatening or torturing that person, that man. They could be dragging him through the street. Those of us who've been around a while remember the enemy doing this stuff. They're nothing like us. Though those people who think we're the bad guys, we are not the bad guys compared to the Iranians. How is it you can't remember that every president, Barack Obama, George Bush, Bill Clinton, and many others, Hillary Clinton, all talked about how bad Iran was in their time. Even Biden, when he was awake, they talked about how bad Iran was and how we had to stop them. And now a president's doing it, and because they hate him so much, they're not giving any credit. Now, he brings a lot of this scorn on himself. He went against a Gold Star family. I was screaming at the screens when he was doing that. That was so stupid and so wrong. And now he's going after the Pope. That is so stupid and so wrong.
And that AI picture is very bizarre that he posted.
Why would he put the next thing you know, on Easter, he's going to be rising from the dead? That's just stupid, Mr. President. There's a reason even your children don't show up with you very much anymore. And the smartest one, Ivanka. My God. All right. I don't want to go off like this. I don't want to.
But you know what's kind of funny, Paul? It seemed like a lot was going on while you were gone. But if you think about it, we're kind of in the same place with a lot of things as we were before you left for your cruise, right? We still don't know what's going on with Iran. The government is still, quote unquote, shut down. But we have been around the moon, so I guess there's been some progress made.
I just circled that. It's funny you said it just at that moment. The Artemis 2 astronauts safely back on Earth after that historic trip around the moon. I missed that, and that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I can't believe I was around the first time anybody went to the moon 50 years ago. I know that some of our listeners were not. Some of our team was not. None of our team was around.
I was gonna say, I wasn't around. I don't think Danielle was around
I'm
either.
certain she wasn't around. Okay, so anyway, 50
Good
years
to have
ago,
you back, Paul.
Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much, how great it feels to be back. Rory McIlroy made Ireland proud again with his second straight Masters championship. I don't get this. You sent me this story, and I don't get it. Missing Michigan woman's husband fell off a police boat.
Oh, he
in
fell
the
off
Bahamas.
he fell off the police boat.
That's what this says. This
Wow.
can't. I mean, she fell off the boat. That's right. But this one says, missing Michigan woman's husband fell off police boat in the Bahamas. Lawyer says that can't be right.
Maybe he's trying. Yeah, you're right. I think it had a different headline when I put it down, but yeah,
it changed on my paper.
Ooh. That's pretty nuts. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to like put some kind of like malpractice case out there or something. I don't know.
I don't know. And Detroit Red Wings down as could be as playoff drought hits 10 years. The booing and all that terrible. U of M championship celebrated with a parade, a rally at Chrysler Center, and the Detroit WNBA team has been okayed to start play in 2029. Why does it take this stuff so long? They use the same basketball court that's there, sitting there.
I don't know. I think they're building a facility, so that could be it.
Really? Right off the bat?
Yeah.
I would play a few games in regular places that
see
are
how it
already
goes.
built and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Exactly. See how it goes. All right. Well, anyway, we're underway. And things are as they should be. Marie Osborne coming up in just a moment. And she's got a nice little addition to the Jamie Edmonds story that she'll share with us. But she's got some other things she's talking about, too. What people thought was a Marine City shooting turned out to be swatting, which is where you call the police and act like someone's got some shooting going on at a house or whatever. It's so dangerous that these kids that are doing it need to see jail time. They need to learn a lesson, and more importantly, they need to teach other kids not to do it by seeing the punishment that's out there. Anyway, all right. That's it. We're underway. It's Focus Hour number 2. Paul W. Smith in for Paul W. Smith on WJR. Paul W. here, and I must tell you, I missed telling you about the good people, my friends, family at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, starting with Tricia Keith, the president and CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, and the tough job she has and how hard she is working. But I need you to know this. Throughout the course of our lives, we all have those people who we can count on, people who would drop everything and rush to help us if we have a challenge to overcome. That would be, I would say that would be the textbook definition of dependability. For 87 years, Michiganders have counted on Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan to stand behind us during life's biggest moments. Babies being born, broken bones being repaired, times when we need care that improves the quality and length of our lives. Blue Cross pays more than $100 million every day for the care of millions of us. Let me say it again because I couldn't believe it either. I had to double check it. Blue Cross pays more than $100 million a day for the care of millions of us. Doing their work in partnership with doctors and hospitals, providing health insurance in every zip code in all 83 Michigan counties, Blue Cross makes sure we get the care we need wherever and whenever we need it, thanks to their nationwide network of 2 million participating care providers. Standing behind us every day for 87 years. When you can rely on a company to be there for you again and again and again, that's dependability, my friends. That's Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Learn more about their work at mibluedaily.com. And thank you, Tricia Keith, President and CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, and the entire family, the team. Find it at mibluedaily.com. We continue on WJR.
Eric Johnson's rising, gonna take a stand for families and freedom across this land. No income tax saving us that dough. 4747 gives us room to grow. From the fields to the city, people cheer. With Perry in the lead, got nothing to fear. So here's to the future, let's make it bright. Barry Johnson's lead, blowing this fire. Together in Michigan, well, a new dawn will rise. With a true conservative, yeah, well, let's reach for the sky.
This message paid for by Perry Johnson, our governor, because we must implement the mega audit to eliminate the waste and return the money to the taxpayers.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. What are you doing every day to support your liver?
If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com, or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster.com. If you price custom blinds at a retail store, you know how expensive they can be. At Blindster, we do things differently. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big on custom blinds. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
WJR Traffic First is also sponsored by My Fair Lady at thumbcoasttheaters.com. Experience live theater at Thumbcoast Theaters in St. Clair. Don't miss the beloved musical My Fair Lady, where an elitist professor bets he can transform a spirited girl from London's lower class into a refined lady in 6 months. Get your tickets at thumbcoasttheaters.com. Currently, we are accident-free on the area roadways as we continue your Monday afternoon commute. We do have some construction to look out for. Roadwork has the roadway reduced to one lane. 10-mile road in both directions. At Woodward Avenue, you'll find construction has your left lane closed. On the Lodge southbound between Glendale and Webb Street. I-75, that northbound off-ramp to westbound I-696, that remains closed due to repairs. And 11-mile road westbound at I-696, you'll see roadwork has the left lane closed there. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Partly cloudy for the rest of the afternoon with a high of 77 degrees. Overcast overnight, low of 62. Cloudy with a chance of thunderstorms for the day on Tuesday with a high of 78. I'm Jason Fissler for WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon, high-level talks in Islamabad. J.D. Vance and the contingent from Iran. What came out of those meetings? We'll have it for you at 2 o'clock, 760 WJR.
You maybe heard on the JR Morning or All Talk or even here Focus a little while ago, the start of our show, we talked about what our colleague, our friend, family member, Jamie Edmonds, co-host of JR Mornings with Chris and Lloyd and Jamie, is going through. She made the public announcement that she is facing breast cancer, and she is a private person, but decided that she understood how she was helped by other people talking about their problems, their issues, and she felt maybe she could help people by talking about it rather than staying secretive or private about it, and I salute her for that. And I salute my colleague, Marie Osborne. She is our friend and long time, years and years and years here at the radio station, and WJR's Director of Community Affairs and News, for coming up with this idea right away that she has put forward. And I'm just, it's embarrassing her, I'm sure, but I want to say thank you for thinking of this, Marie. And I think it's a wonderful idea. Marie has collected a number of pink ribbon pins for the radio station family to wear to show our support for Jamie, because we are all supporting her. And though it may be thought of as a small gesture in the big picture, it shows that we stand behind her 100%. So I want to thank you, Marie, for coming up with that idea. I'm not surprised. That's the kind of person you are.
Oh, it is not me here. I just wanted Jamie, every time she looked at us, to see that we were silently standing right there alongside her. It's like I see it like a pink line, right? We hear about the blue line and all of that. This is the pink line. So
Good.
We're there for her.
Well, I'm all in on that. And thank you for even bringing it up and getting the pins. And I can't wait to get mine. Meanwhile, you're here to talk about just a ridiculous, terrible thing that is known as swatting. Swatting is the act of making a prank call to law enforcement to prompt a response at an address that they report. The goal is to get authorities, particularly a SWAT team, to show up. And Michael Bouchard has talked to us about this before. I agree with him. You must come down hard on people that do this, because the danger people are putting other people in by doing this kind of a prank call is insurmountable. The people rushing to come and rescue the people who are not really being fired upon, all the things that could go wrong. This is not just a silly little high school prank. This is a major crime. All right, I got that off my chest. Talk to us about Marine City.
So this happened yesterday in Marine City, yesterday afternoon. The Michigan St. Clair County officials were investigating this possible swatting call, claiming that a shooter was holding hostages and was giving various demands. The director of Homeland Security and Emergency Management for St. Clair County is Justin Westmiller, and here's what he had to say.
A caller who said that he had a weapon, he was holed up inside of a building, and that he had taken hostages. And then in a later phone call, he stated that he shot one of those hostages.
Yeah, well, none of it was true. Police believe this entire thing was swatting. A full investigation is underway to figure out who put this call in. And as you said, Paul, this had dozens of law enforcement personnel that had to respond, take time to respond to this, and hundreds of people were placed on lockdown in Marine City for hours yesterday. So there's that too.
You're right. There's that, and that's why the punishment should be incredibly severe. Because you take these personnel away from other real problems.
Oh, yes.
But B, while they're rushing to get there to help, things go wrong. Accidents happen. All kinds of things can happen. Plus, you just talked about all the people, just regular people who were locked down. The whole thing is just bad. I don't know where it began or how. It's not funny in any way, shape, or form.
No, it just, well, you know what it is? It causes chaos, and people apparently love chaos. It's exemplified in everything we see on social media these days and elsewhere. So I think that they just want to have that power, that control of causing this chaos.
Well, they should learn about chaos by sitting their ass down in jail for a while. That's what they should learn. They should learn what real chaos is and the ramifications of such foolish activity. Period.
Yep, indeed.
I couldn't be angrier. All right. The mayor is partnering with Teen Takeover, a teen takeover group. What's that all about?
Yeah, so very quickly, Mary Sheffield has announced this new youth advisory committee. It's going to be aimed at creating safer spaces for young people. We've heard about these mass gatherings called teen takeovers. Kids send out messages on social media, and then they all gather in a pre-designated area. And that also, again, causes a lot of chaos. So she wants these individuals who are going to be on this committee between the ages of 16 and 26. They want real and honest conversations, and she says they want to expand midnight basketball, extend rec center hours, and offer free DDOT buses for students so that they can occupy themselves with something interesting and fun instead of causing any of these problems with these teen takeovers.
I've been out, so traveling and such, and I tried to stay away from news. She seems to be doing a great job. Mary Sheffield, the mayor?
Yeah, she's come up with some really great ideas, but as you know, ideas are great until, when you try to implement them, that's where the devil's always in the details. But this is another good one, and I do hope it succeeds.
We wish her well in any way we can help her along the way. I hope she knows that we will. All right.
Indeed.
Anything else, Riri?
No, that's about it.
Oh, by the way, in my column today in the Detroit News, you find out where I first used the name Riri was from my dear friend Marie Merman-Lyon.
Merman, yes.
Lived next door to us growing up on Tremont Street in Monroe. And I used to refer to her as Riri. And you were the only other person I ever have called Riri.
And I love it. And it's actually a pet name in my family too. People call
it
me
is?
Ree and Riri. Oh, yes.
good. I didn't know
Oh,
that.
yes.
All right.
So I love it. You're among the few that are able to call me that.
I feel honored. And thank you for the pink pins on behalf of Jamie
You
and all
got it.
breast cancer fighters, I guess is the best way to put that. Thanks,
Yep.
Marie.
Thank you.
Marie Osborne, WJR Director of Community Affairs and News at 129 on WJR. Well, I have missed my friend Mike Fallahy as well. You know, when I'm traveling, I miss these folks because they are truly friends because I believe in them. I've had so much work done by Marygrove over the years on a couple of different houses over the years, and it's always been fabulous. I've known Mike Fallahy a very long time. He is a good friend, and his family's been running Marygrove in Detroit for over 90 years. 90 years. That means they were building shade in this town before most companies even existed. And they do so much more than just building shade. And they still do it all the Detroit way. Strong, precise, built to last. Marygrove only makes motorized awnings, none of the crank handles, no gimmicks. You hit the remote, you get instant shade. If rain's coming in, you adjust the pitch. The sun goes down, built-in LED lights. Wind kicks up, add the sensor. It rolls in automatically. Premium framing, fully enclosed housing to protect the fabric, backed by a 10-year warranty. And here's what really separates them. Marygrove can often complete the entire process in as little as 48 hours. That's right, 48 hours. That's not 6 weeks. That's this week. No third-party installers, no dealer games. Real Marygrove employees start to finish, and they are the best. I speak from my own personal experience of them coming into my house. I don't just welcome any workers into my house. If you're going to put something on your home, in your home, make it something built by a Detroit company that's been doing it right for over 90 years. Go to marygrove.com, marygrove.com, or call that fabulous number that's easy to remember, 1-800-44-AWNINGS. I almost sing it. 1-800-44-AWNING. Schedule the free in-home appointment. Tell them Paul W. sent you. Do that. Tell them Paul W. sent you to 1-800-44-AWNING. Marygrove, Detroit tough, 90 years strong. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mike Fallahy and the Fallahy family. 1-800-44-AWNING. Tell them Paul W. sent you. 132 WJR.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with Rolaids. Rolaids formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Here's Ryan Goldberg, President and CEO of DFCU Financial.
At DFCU, our credit union is all about our members and the community. We're not just focused on numbers and metrics, but we are focused on doing the right thing for our communities. That's why we pay back earnings to our members through a very popular cashback program.
How about small business owners? How do they benefit from being with DFCU?
Our business and commercial banking teams bring a wealth of knowledge and expertise to benefit you. By understanding your unique financial needs, our team can deliver tailored lending solutions, deposit, and treasury management. Working with DFCU means you'll have access to decision makers and benefit from speed to market. We're in a strong liquidity position, and that means we have money to lend and the willingness to lend it. Business lenders often have a box to fit into. We don't work that way.
Some restrictions apply. Visit DFCUfinancial.com for details. DFCU Financial is an equal housing lender, federally insured by NCUA.
My name is Kamal Shohaib. I am the owner of Choice Properties and the Choice Group, and we do business in 5 states. We started dealing with Treon about 10 years ago, and they were highly recommended. We like to deal with companies that care about the community that they do business with, and we feel Treon does that because we witnessed the wonderful things that they do for the community on so many levels.
And that is why we rely on Treon.
You can always rely on Treon.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. Take the first step. Visit CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
Never miss
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose
The Daily Dose
of Deets.
The Daily Dose of Deets.
But when you're building a product that you know is being used by children and you are designing it to be as addictive as possible, you don't get to just step back and say, not our fault.
It's Can't Miss Radio.
Not every at-bat will be magic. There will be days where reality hits. That's how baseball works.
The Daily Dose of Deets.
What would Jesus do if he were in our shoes right now? Would he be on social media tearing people apart? Or would he be doing something very different? Listening, loving people, even the ones who see the world completely different.
First thing out of the gate on All Talk with Kevin Dietz.
We're 44th out of 50 states in this country in 4th grade reading. So I want to ask you something. How is that acceptable?
Weekdays at 9 on WJR. You're hearing Focus with Paul W. Smith on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Well, it was exciting to 50 years later watch the next attempt at going toward the moon, and in fact going further, going around the other side of the moon, a place no one has ever been. Well, no human has ever been that we're aware of. And we all got to see some pictures that no one has ever seen. It must have been very exciting for Michael Narlock. He is the Cranbrook Institute's head of astronomy. And Artemis 2 has returned to Earth safely. And we're going to take a look at that and maybe what's next for our space exploration. Michael, it had to be, for a guy in your line of work, a very exciting time.
Oh, it's just a great time to be alive, isn't it? I mean, we haven't been to the moon in 50 years. We've sort of abandoned the moon in favor of low Earth orbit space stations. But I think humanity is getting ready to take a larger step into our solar system, and the moon is that next step.
And what is I know there's an Artemis 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 8, and I don't know how far the numbers go. What is the very next step now?
So Artemis 3 launch in 2027 is very similar to Apollo 9 from the late 60s. This is going to be a rehearsal of docking the spacecraft with the landing part of the spacecraft, which is actually being made by third-party companies. It'll also be a test for the extravehicular suits that you could use in a spacewalk, or obviously they'll use them landing on the moon and walking around. So this is going to be a dress rehearsal of all the key components. It won't go to the moon like Artemis 2 did. That will be reserved for Artemis 4, which is supposed to launch in 2028, and that will see human beings once again on the surface of the moon.
Very exciting for sure. And since you're a student of all of this and a professor of all of this for the rest of us, as the Cranbrook Institute's head of astronomy, it occurs to me that you mentioned their suits, testing out their suits. And when it comes to 2028 Artemis 4, that they, I guess, actually touch down on the moon, 2028, is that what you said?
Yeah, they'll touch down in the South Polar region.
So the question would be, in the 50 years since that happened, and I happen to be around for that, and working in broadcasting, in fact, how different are the suits going to be? What have we learned that we will incorporate into the new spacesuits, for example?
Well, I mean, largely, the function of the suits remains the same. Keep the human being safe and comfortable away from radiation and vacuum. Certainly, the articulation of the joints looks somewhat different than the old-time spacesuits, which were largely made out of fabric. I know there have been suits that have been designed in the time since Apollo that almost look like armor. They were articulated and had metal sheathing on the outside. The goal is all the same, regardless of what it looks like. Even when we talk about Artemis and the Orion spacecraft, they look a little bit different than the pictures from Apollo. And that's just because technology has improved. But the form and function of what they do, getting us from point A to point B, keeping us safe while we're on the lunar surface and then safely on the way back, it's all the same thing. It's very eerie, actually, to look at Artemis, and you could almost compare it point by point to what we did in Apollo. Now, there are some steps we skip because we know more things now than we did back in the 60s, but this is, I was telling my kids just the other day, pay attention to this. I wasn't around when we landed on the moon, but in their lifetime, in our lifetimes, we could see a lunar baby, once we start to colonize and put a permanent settlement on the moon. It's the stuff of science fiction.
It really is. And back then, 50 years ago, it was NASA's show. It was NASA. Now, there were obviously... I can't even, Norman Thickall, or I can't think of the names. There were some brands, there were some names out there, but it was NASA's show all the way. We never doubted that. Was this NASA's show all the way this time for Artemis?
For some of it, but certainly SpaceX and Blue Origins, they're contributing some of the human landing systems. There's definitely been more third-party companies, but as you said, North American, Morton Thiokol.
That's it, Morton Thiokol. Yeah.
They all play a role because NASA as an agency provides engineering and provides support and provides the astronauts, but the actual building of the things are mainly outsourced. These are now outsourced to probably more prominent companies like SpaceX and Blue Origins, who have key figures in leadership that, whose names everybody knows. So it's a little bit of a different flavor this time, but still they're relying on the infrastructure in the United States and I want to say in Canada too, but I'm not 100% certain of that. I know we had in Artemis 2 a Canadian astronaut on board, but this is largely a North American adventure.
Michael Narlock is here, the Cranbrook Institute's head of astronomy. And we're talking and celebrating Artemis 2, its safe return to Earth with our 4 astronauts, and already taking a look at Artemis 3 and Artemis 4 and all the different things that are ahead of us. It's great timing because there was a time when people started taking this stuff for granted and not even paying attention. Challenger changed a lot of that. We realized just how dangerous this business can be. And I think people still believe it. And there seems to be a renewed interest in this challenge of going to the moon and then setting up shop on the moon to get ready to go to Mars. It's pretty exciting.
Very.
Thanks for your expertise. We'll talk again soon, Michael. Appreciate you very much.
Looking forward to it.
Michael Narlock, Cranbrook Institute's head of astronomy. And they always have something interesting going on over there at Cranbrook. And all the different things they can share with us are always well worth it and exciting. We're very lucky to have them around. As we continue in Focus on WJR. I was thinking about this a lot while on vacation, although I'm not supposed to think about, these things. I'm a human being like you're a human being, at least as far as I know. Most of our listeners are human beings. The market in non-human listening. So I just wanted to point that out. I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm just saying it because no one else has said it yet. But I have to tell you, I have thought about my mortality and what I'm going to try to leave behind for my family one day in, 30, 40 years. And one thing I was thinking about is how I need to get in touch with estate planning legal services. because I've learned enough about them now in their 25 years of serving Metro Detroit families that these are the guys I can trust and put my future and my family's future in their hands, because I do know this from a family of lawyers and all of that. Probate is bad. That's a simple statement, a factual statement. Probate is bad. It's slow. It's expensive. It's completely public. The good news is you can avoid probate entirely with a revocable living trust. Well, thanks a lot, Paul. What the heck does that mean? Well, I can tell you that a revocable living trust keeps you in control of the who, the what, and the when. Who receives your assets, what assets they receive, and when they receive them. And when your assets are properly owned by or payable to the trust, you bypass probate and protect your family from the delays and costs that come with probate. So, okay, Paul, now that we know that, what now? Well, I wasn't going to bring this up without giving you an answer, and a very good one. Estate planning legal services. Estate planning legal services at EPLSPC. Their attorneys walk you through every step. They will help retitle your assets at no charge. They will help you retitle your assets at no charge. That's no small feat. And if you need any changes in the future, once you're working with them, if you need any changes in the future, they're free for life. Again, with more than 25 years serving Metro Detroit families, they know how to make the process clear, affordable, and stress-free. You hear about these things, but you never know how to do it or go about it. Now I'm telling you, get the peace of mind you deserve. Contact Estate Planning Legal Services today for your free consultation. Learn how a revocable living trust can work for you. Call them at 248-435-0400. That's 248-435-0400. Or go to EPLSPC.com. That stands for Estate Planning Legal Services PC.com. EPLSPC.com. Or call them at 248-435-0400. 248-435-0400. Do what I'm going to do. Contact Estate Planning Legal Services today for your free consultation. We continue in Focus with Paul W. Smith on WJR.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, .com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Vince Colonnese is redefining news talk.
I'm Vince Colonnese, host of the Vince Podcast. I'm bringing you the truth beneath on the whole planet. And I'll ask the questions you only dream of other interviewers asking.
And a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day.
It's a show with an obsessive focus on what's good for America. You are going to love Vince.
The Vince Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
Second opinions.
You get them with your health.
So why not with your wealth?
Your stock market investments deserve a second opinion.
At Henyon & Walsh, it only takes a second
to schedule your free second opinion.
Go online and search for Henyon & Walsh, the second opinion people. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Advisory services provided by Henyon & Walsh Asset Management. Securities offered by Henyon & Walsh Inc. Member FINRA SIPC.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
WJR Traffic First is sponsored by Paramount Roofing. Looking for a roofing company you can trust? Paramount Roofing delivers a 5-star roofing experience made easy. Get your instant free roof quote at weareroofing.com. Built to last, back for life, with no money down in 5 years, 0% interest. Residential and commercial roofing, Paramount Roofing. Currently, we remain accident-free on the area roadways as we continue your Monday afternoon commute. We do have some construction that may slow you down. Construction has the roadway reduced to one lane, 10-mile road in both directions. At Woodward Avenue, you'll find road work has the lodge southbound between Glendale Street and Webb Street. Construction also has your left lane closed, 11-mile road westbound at I-696. And construction has the 2 left lanes closed, causing slowdowns, I-96 westbound between Levan and I-275. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Mostly cloudy skies for the rest of this afternoon with a high of 77 degrees. Overcast overnight with a low of 62 and cloudy skies with a chance of a thunderstorm for the day on Tuesday with a high of 78. I'm Jason Fissler for WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster.com. If you price custom blinds at a retail store, you know how expensive they can be. At Blindster, we do things differently. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big on custom blinds. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit Autolaw.com. That's Autolaw.com.
Oh, that's got you going, huh? That's nice. I hadn't heard that rejoiner. We call them rejoiner. The music that takes us from one area to the next in programming. A shout out to David Jersak, president of Grand Hotel. He's done such a great job. You know, we were all nervous when the Mussers sold Grand Hotel, but I have to tell you, David Jersak and his entire team have done a tremendous job in just spending money in the right way and making the Grand Hotel even grander. And they even have now a store, Simply Grand, with I sadly I printed the release I got online, but it doesn't print out their website. I'm assuming it's just grandhotel.com, but Michael, find out grandhotel.com or distinctly grand.
Yeah, shop.grandhotel.com.
Shop.grandhotel.com.
Yes.
Okay. Because they've got some wonderful things for America's 250th anniversary with Grand Hotel. So, I mean, there's some cool stuff. So way to go, David Jersak. He's just lots of great ideas along the way. Here's a little story that I don't know if you guys had this, but all the stuff I see along the way. Do you know that one of the first faces the Artemis 2 crew saw when they returned to Earth was the face of a United States Navy sailor from Michigan?
Really?
Yeah. Hospital Corpsman First Class Steve Capalla from Alpena, a member of the dive medical team that opened the Orion capsule upon its return to Earth, making the initial medical assessments of the Artemis 2 crew and assisting them out of the capsule safely.
And then I believe one of the astronauts was from the west side of the state, I think, right?
I don't remember, but probably.
Grand Rapids, I'm being told, by Grand Rapids native Beth Ann.
Okay, Beth Ann, thank you for standing up for your Grand Rapids. So we had a nice Michigan touch there, both in terms of the crew and the rescue people greeting them upon their arrival back home. That's cool.
Yeah, Michigan got us to the moon. And then I saw on TV today, they were showing I'm sure that the astronauts posted this, but they had video of their dogs greeting them for the first time since coming back on Earth.
And, you know, the astronauts could have been gone a day or
Right.
2 weeks, and the
Right.
dogs would welcome them. You know, you go out to get the newspaper, you come back in, and the dog
Right.
is like, where have you been? Oh, my God, it's good to see you.
I thought I'd never see you again. Well, you know,
Oh,
it's 7
that's funny.
times longer. You know, dog years are 7 years to a
Right.
year. So a minute to a dog is 7 minutes.
Right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Good point. Here's a quick note here. Coming up May 1st and the 2nd, the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America is coming to our area, according to Maria Stoker Ballinger of Marquee Media PR. Let me just see what it is. May 1st, Boundless Horizons, celebrating Freedom 250 with a free 90-minute family-friendly concert featuring the 50-member concert band. Enjoy patriotic favorites, inspiring stories of our nation's heritage, original works, and Broadway classics. How about that? The United States Air Force Band of Mid-America.
Wow.
I didn't know there was a different one, but that's what they're promoting. So Friday, May 1st, at Lincoln Consolidated School District Performing Arts Center in Ypsilanti. May 2nd, Macomb Center for the Performing Arts in Clinton Township. May 3rd, Eastern High School Performing Arts Center in Lansing. May 4th, Penfield Performing Arts Center, Battle Creek. May 5th, Midland Center for the Arts in Midland. And Thursday, May 7th, Skyline High School Theater in Ann Arbor.
Wow. A little tour.
Yeah, the award-winning United States Air Force Band of Mid-America announcing their Boundless Horizons Michigan concerts May 1st to the 7th, celebrating Freedom 250. Okay, I'm glad I was able to get that in there. When I saw that, I thought, oh, am I going to be back yet? And I am. So I'm able to promote that. My column today in the Detroit News, I hope you look for it every Monday. Why do we avoid talking politics with friends? And that came up from my friend Riri Merman, about in large groups of people weren't talking about the Iran war.
And Paul,
she
you know,
found that to be unusual.
yeah, I read it because it was on the front page of debtnews.com. And you know what my takeaway was? That you had the chance to see the Beatles and you turned them down.
Oh, for God's sakes! I'm sure that's what everyone remembers and takes away. I was 10 years old.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
I don't know why they took that out of the column today, but I said that last Monday. I was 10 years old, and Marie Merman and Shelley Woodward had to be about 10 also, and their parents said, "We're going to take you to Detroit." Now, you understand, in Monroe, you either went south to Toledo, the big city,
right,
or north to Detroit, the bigger city,
right.
And they said, "We're going to Detroit to see a band called the Beatles. You want to go?" I went, "No, I don't.
They'll never
I'm
make
sorry.
it.
I mean, who? The Beatles? What, are you named after bugs? What, are you kidding me?" So I didn't go, and yes, I regret that. That and selling my Apple stock in 1985. So those are my two big regrets in life. My biggest regret would be not getting to Ryan Ermani right now to say JR Afternoon with Ryan is coming up after we all stand by for news. Ryan, you ready?
Paul, I cannot tell you how great it is to hear your voice. It is so great. We need Paul W. Smith on these airwaves with us every day, but we also need you to have your vacation time as well, my friend.
I have to tell you, I didn't plan this properly. I'm only back for like 4 days. Then I'm going to celebrate Sophie's birthday with her. I was born April 18th, and the day after I turned 50, Sophie was born April 19th. She'll be 23 this April 19th, and of course, I'll still be 50. And I wanted to celebrate with her. Gotta go. Regards, Paul W. Smith.